Miramare, the jewel of the northern Adriatic coast, a place deeply connected to the history of Central Europe. But we'll come back to that in just a moment. Today is the final day of our journey. And although we crossed the border of the Istrian Peninsula just a few kilometers ago, near the Gulf of Trieste and the town of Muggia, leaving behind the region this entire series has been dedicated to, one more unforgettable destination awaits us. Miramare is widely considered one of the most beautiful castles anywhere on the Adriatic coast. At first glance, the castle reminds us of the famous Hluboká Castle in the Czech Republic, and chances are you'll notice the resemblance as well. After leaving Medulin early in the morning, it took us around 2 hours to get here, arriving just in time for the very first entry of the day at 10:30. Admission costs €17 per person, and we bought our tickets online. Not through the castle's official website, but via the Coop Culture booking portal. If you're planning a visit, we recommend arriving at least 30 minutes before your scheduled entry time. Finding a parking space isn't always easy, especially during the busy season. We were lucky to arrive early in the morning, and the walk from the parking area to the castle entrance took us about 10 minutes. If you don't book your tickets in advance, don't worry. You can still buy them on site. Just not at the ticket booth you can see in this shot, but inside the castle itself, right before entering the exhibition. And now, let's discover Miramare Castle together. One of Italy's most beautiful castles, whose story is every bit as fascinating as its breathtaking location above the crystal-clear waters of the Adriatic Sea. Before we step inside, let's take a look at why Miramare was built in the first place. It all began in 1855 when Archduke Maximilian of Austria, the younger brother of Emperor Franz Joseph I, fell in love with this rocky promontory overlooking the Gulf of Trieste during one of his voyages. He decided that this was the perfect place to build his dream residence. Construction began the following year, and just 4 years later, Maximilian and his wife, Charlotte of Belgium, moved into the castle, even though some of the interiors were still being completed. But Maximilian was much more than just a member of the Habsburg dynasty. He served as commander-in-chief of the Austrian Navy and was a passionate traveler, as well as a great admirer of nature, science, and botany. It was his vision that transformed the land surrounding the castle into a magnificent park filled with plants, brought here from all over the world. His dream was to create a place where architecture, art, and nature would exist in perfect harmony. Looking around today, it's clear that he succeeded. Sadly, Maximilian didn't enjoy his dream home for very long. In 1864, he accepted the crown of Mexico and left Miramare convinced he could build a new empire. Just 3 years later, he was captured by Republican forces and executed at the age of only 34. His wife Charlotte never recovered from the tragedy, suffering a mental breakdown and spending the rest of her life in isolation. That is why Miramare remains a symbol of one of the most tragic stories in the history of the Habsburg monarchy. After Maximilian's death, Miramare Castle was used from time to time by other members of the Habsburg family. Following the end of the First World War, the castle became part of Italy. It was later used as the residence of Duke Amadeo of Savoy, before being occupied by the German army during the Second World War. In the years that followed, Miramare served as headquarters for New Zealand, British, and American military forces. It wasn't until the mid-1950s that the castle was carefully restored and opened to the public as a museum. Today, Miramare Castle is owned by the Italian Ministry of Culture and is one of the most visited historic landmarks in the entire Friuli-Venezia Giulia region. Now let's take a look inside. The interiors are remarkably well preserved, and many of the rooms feel as though their owners had just stepped outside a few moments ago. On the ground floor, you'll find the private apartments of Maximilian and Charlotte, including their bedroom, study, dining room, and elegant living quarters. One of the most fascinating rooms is Maximilian's study, designed to resemble the cabin of a naval ship, a reminder of his lifelong passion for the sea and his career in the Austrian Navy. The upper floor is much more ceremonial. It was designed to receive distinguished guests and impress visitors with richly decorated halls, grand reception rooms, elaborate woodwork, luxurious fabrics, and beautiful original furnishings. One thing you'll notice throughout the castle is its extraordinary connection with the sea. Almost every room offers breathtaking views of the Gulf of Trieste, while the interiors are filled with maritime details, shades of blue, and elegant nautical decorations. Perhaps that's what makes Miramare Castle so unique. It's not just another royal residence. It's the realization of one man's dream, a dream that, sadly, lasted only a few short years.